Okay, the next one we're going to do is the star map function. Use a map to make stars and bangs. So bangs is another way of saying exclamation mark. Using a map, return a list of 10 items, each one a string with exactly one star in it if the index is odd, and exactly one exclamation mark if it's even. Reuse the isOdd function that you've already written. For example, bang star, etc. So let's just have a little look at how maps work. So pop that to the front. Okay, so I'm already in IPython here, and we can say map, and then now map's a function, so it takes two things. One of them is a function, another function, and the second one is a list of things to operate on. So we already know that range gives us a list of things. So range 10 gives us a list of the numbers from 0 to 9. And so let's make a little function, def square. This is like the classic map example. And then we're going to square, let's call it, I don't know, let's call it x, even though that's a terrible variable name. You can come up with a better name. So we can say return x times x. So that's like the definition of how to do a square, is a number times itself, right? So now we've defined square. So if we say square 2, we should get 4. We do, good. Okay. So if we say map and then square, the name of the function that we want to call, and then range 10, we'll get all the numbers, but each one will be squared, so it does it one by one. So now we've got 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, and 81. So all the square numbers up to 9. Okay, so you can see how the function is doing something each time you call it on the list. So let's def another function, and we'll call this one cake. And then we'll give it an function, an argument of x again. So we're going to say print. No, we don't want to print something. Let's say return cakes, and then we'll say a string. So we convert the number to a string, and we'll say x cakes, like that. Now, this is going to return a number, so let's try that out. We'll say cake 5. So now it produces the result 5 cakes. So if we were to map cake and then range, we can do a different range. So you can do ranges that have a start value as well. So let's say range from 3 to 9. And now we get 3 cakes, 4 cakes, 5 cakes, 6 cakes, 7 cakes, 8 cakes. Very exciting. Okay, so how are we going to use a map to solve our problem? So here we go. So we need a little function. So we say def star or bang, and then a number, and let's call it our number just so we're not confused. And we want to say if is odd, because we've already written an isOdd function, right? So we don't want to rewrite stuff when we can reuse it. A number. So if is odd, a number. So we're doing a test. Now we could say equals true, and then return if it's odd, then the first one is odd. No, first one is even because 0 is even. It's the weird case. So if it's odd, then we should be returning a star. And then else, because we can be very confident that if it's not an odd number, it's an even number. Return a bang. Now, this is odd function, returns trues and falses, so we don't need to compare true to true because true is already a Boolean value. It resolves to a Boolean value. So we can get rid of that, and then we can do our little map. So return map. Now the name of the function is star or bang, and the values we want to run it against are a range of 10 value. Okay, so let's run that. And then there it is, star map, bang, star, bang, star, bang, star. Now, let's just do a little check to run this. And to do this, we're going to break things up a bit. So let's say result. Now, this is just my name of the variable. It's not a magic Python word. And I'll move that stuff up a line. There we go. And so we're going to return the result. And we also want to print the result so we can see what it's actually going to do. So up here we go, and we can copy it from where it prints, and we'll put it just next to the other one, do a little visual check. Now if this all lines up, then we're good to go. Look at that, exclamation mark, star, and so on until the end. So this looks like it's pretty happy. So let's get rid of that print just to make things a bit cleaner, and run it again. So that's good. Let's test it in here. So we'll exit out of the terminal, run the tests. There we go. 1D map passes. So we're all good.